So baby boomers are the wealthiest generation in America, and yet there's a growing number of them living on the streets. In 2024, U.S. homelessness hit a record 771,480 people. That was up 18% from 2023. And it's estimated that about 20% of those people were aged 55 or older. Baby boomers now account for half of all homeless single adults in this country. Boomers are also the fastest growing segment of the homeless population, projected to triple by 2030. Today, we'll uncover some of the causes and possible housing solutions that might help some. But first, let's see just how bad things have gotten. Baby boomers own a staggering 50% of U.S. wealth, but they're also the fastest growing segment of the homeless population in America. Much of the wealth's tied up in real estate and mainly owned by the older boomers. The younger boomers are the ones who are increasingly sliding into homelessness. I know we've all heard that baby boomers own a big percentage of real estate in America, and that's true, but it's the older baby boomers who own most of that real estate. The younger generation, or the younger boomers in that generation, so the ones that were born the last 10 years of the baby boomer generation, those are the ones that are not as, financially prepared or haven't been in the past to actually own that real estate. Overall, homelessness jumped 18% nationwide in 2024, with boomers making up 50% of the homeless single adults. Those 55 and older now represent 20% of the total unhoused population, with late boomers, the ones born between 1955 and 1965, hit hardest due to economic conditions. And we'll go over some of those in just a little bit. If you or someone you know has been impacted by this, feel free to share in the comments section down below. I love reading all the comments. Dennis Culhane of the University of Pennsylvania has been tracking this homeless trend among baby boomers. He says that part of the issue was that the younger boomers, quote, faced a very crowded housing market and prices were escalating. And young adults, in particular, faced the challenge of getting entry into the labor market. Some of the research that he's been involved with is now saying that the older homeless population is projected to triple by 2030 in major cities around the United States. So one of the reasons for this increase in the number of people that are now homeless is the skyrocketing rents and affordable housing shortages. Average U.S. rents rose 30% or more from 2020 to 2023, outpacing Social Security's max annual adjustments. And senior housing has wait lists in the thousands, with only 25 affordable units per 100 low-income renters in states like Florida. The fixed income boomers, where 45% rely on Social Security for 50% or more of their income, they just can't keep up. States like Florida, New York, and California saw the steepest spikes, which forced many people to live on the streets or in their cars. So let's talk about the affordability crisis. We have an imbalance in the housing market. The supply of homes does not meet the current demand of what is needed. What do I mean by that? Well, they're not building the type of houses that people need. For example, the average square foot of a new home has been going up for decades, hitting a peak around 2014 at 2,700 square feet. Yeah, 2,700 square feet, the average new home back in 2014. Now, it's been coming down a little bit recently, with the average now around 2,400. But still, that's more than double of what somebody probably needs to just be able to get by. We need houses that are built for single people, small families, and older Americans who need smaller housing. We just need more affordable options, and we need them very soon. We can't keep going this direction. One of the solutions could be multi-generational housing. And how could that help? Well, there are 4 different ways that could help. Affordability, for one. So now you've got multiple people, multiple generations of a family living together, or maybe just friends, but you've got multi-generations living together, helping share in the expenses of housing. So the utilities, everything, groceries. It could help with not only the older generation that's really tight with their finances right now, but also with the younger families that would just benefit from somebody else helping with some of the cost. The other thing that multi-generational living does is you have built-in caregiving, meaning family members or friends can help take care of or get the older adults, the baby boomers, to their appointments, or just help provide some of the in-house care that they actually need. Another thing is companionship. You see, a lot of boomers, as they retire, they get lonely. They're by themselves, especially if they're facing a situation where they may not be able to live somewhere. They may have to live on the street. Obviously, that's a very lonely thing. So companionship would definitely be another plus for multi-generational housing. And it would also allow for some housing market relief, meaning if we have too many buyers at certain price points, but now we have people sharing a place to live, that reduces the number of people that actually need to buy their own place. So it could free up some of the houses, some of the lower priced houses for people that actually are hoping to buy. Another reason for what's happening with this generation is the insufficient retirement savings. Over 40% of boomers have zero savings. Yeah, zero savings. Over 40% of baby boomers have zero savings. Many in low-wage jobs without pensions faced recessions in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on, which took away from their nest eggs for sure. The younger boomers, born between 1955 and 1964, entered adulthood amid some really tough economic times and has now led to first-time homelessness after age 50. And many of these people are counting on Social Security as their main retirement income. So I mentioned that the boomers have lived through multiple recessions, so I want to cover some of those real quick. I mean, we're talking about the 1973 to 75 recession, which was the oil embargo, if you remember that, or maybe you're too young to remember that, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. The 1980 recession, and then we had the 81 and 82 recessions, which those were two back-to-back recessions. And those were from the high inflation and extremely high interest rates. Then the 1990 and 91 recession, the 2001 recession, and then the 2008 Great Recession, or the Great Financial Crisis, which wiped out a lot of people's savings and the equity that they had built up in their homes. And of course, we all know about the COVID pandemic that we went through just a few years back. All of these things have contributed to the issue that we face today with the rising population of homelessness among baby boomers. All recessions can take a toll on people's finances, let alone having to go through several during your peak wealth building years. So where do we go from here? Ultimately, the record number of boomers experiencing homelessness is partly a result of economic instability, affordable housing shortages, and a system that continues to cost more and more. These issues have created a perfect storm that's not only an issue for the baby boomer generation, but for all Americans. Hey, if you got something out of this video, let me know down in the comments. Also, hit the like button, would you? I would love it if you'd like the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I would love it for you to subscribe. If you know someone that could get something from this video, please go ahead and share that with them as well. All right. Until next time, I'll talk to you later. Take care.